Y'all need to get in tune because
It's a cultural conversation.
This is a cultural conversation.
It's a cultural
This
conversation.
is a cultural conversation.
Yo, it's your boy Steph,
And this Logix, what down?
and we back again. Episode 69.5. I'm horrible with these episode numbers. And
We ain't said it in a while, that's why.
I know, man. We got a guest here. Rickey. Well, I'll let you do it, Mallow. You can bring Rickey on.
Yeah, I invited my boy Rickey on, y'all. I just want y'all to know, before I'm gonna let you introduce yourself thoroughly. But I invited Rickey because he's somebody I went to NIU with him. He's somebody I do look up to. He's very he's a respectable person in every way you can imagine. You know what I'm saying? He's knowledgeable, he give back to the community. He do a lot, you know what I'm saying? And he has a lot of perspectives on things that a lot of people may not ever get to have firsthand experience on. But I'm gonna let you tell them a little bit more about yourself so they can understand you and how you view, you know what I'm saying, a lot of the things we finna talk about.
Well, thanks for the love, bro. My love, for sure. Rickey Layfield, like we went to school together, Master's in Education and Bachelor of Political Science. I currently work in youth engagement, and I work for a few nonprofits as well as entrepreneurship. So a lot of my time is spent working with youth and getting their point of view and perspective on life, and just getting them some knowledge and insight on how to move forward. But, outside of that, man, I like to enjoy myself and have fun too, or do event planning, here and there.
Talking about here and there, boy. You be making shit come out of nothing.
I mean, some people do that shit 4 times a month. I might do once a season. It depends.
Nah, bro, this nigga, bro. Let me tell you, he being humble. Niggas will hit up Rickey like, hey, we need a skate party now. He'd be like, all right, y'all, the tickets is up. Skate party is
the shit that time. It didn't happen to go that way.
That bitch will sell out. That bitch will sell out in days, my nigga. And that shit'll crack.
It don't always be that smooth though, bro. Like, I done had some shit flop too. Motherfuckers don't know about it because it flopped. You know what I'm saying?
So you be putting together like parties and like what type of events? Like I seen you on Facebook, but you know what I'm saying? I don't really know exactly what all you do, because I could probably use some of your services or some shit.
Yeah, so it depends, man. Like my first, it's funny, my first party I ever like playing, ironic as hell, my homies was getting out of jail when we was in high school. It was coming home party. So like
that was a coming home party.
That was my first time making a flyer, first time booking a DJ, first time, we had like a tattoo artist come, my first time having like a midnies in the event. And then when I got to college, it was a different environment. And it's just that you got people from different like walks of life on a university campus, so you could try different shit. So with me, like, yeah, some parties, of course, but I believe this created memories, however that may look. So like I always been big on doing service events. I'm probably doing more service events in the last couple of months than I have like parties. But I like people to have a good time. So, but I don't like just throwing motherfuckers in the room or saying turn up. Like I do that shit sometimes now. Maybe just because the pandemic and because we need to be together and try to enjoy this shit while we can. But I do have to add a little bit more to the event so people can actually enjoy it. So it really varied, bro.
Man, he was the catalyst to have a fucking reunion party at our college, right?
Yeah.
Like you spearheaded it. Like for our whole university, bro, nigga done left the school and everything. The nigga managed to plan what was it, 2-3 day events, 3 days of events?
We had a weekend. I mean, I had help, of course, but it was time.
Of course you had help, but yeah.
To me, the reunion name with NIU was genius. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah,
but like,
reunion, yeah.
Some shit, people have writer's block, and then sometimes I might be in the shower 2 in the morning, drunk as hell, like, that shit lit. I put in my notes on my phone, like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes ideas hit me.
So how is all this possible? Is it just with your ideas or like with the connections you got with a whole bunch of people? You got connections with a bunch of people?
I think it's both, man. Like, so one thing about NIU, with it being a PWI, like we was able to use that white privilege to make black events happen. So it was like they had a budget to give us to work with. And we always gonna be creative people anyway. So it was like, damn, how much we got? Let's get it done. You know what I'm saying? And even though I'm creative, like it is hard to get shit done with no budget. So networking is essential too. Like, but most things not free. Like if I did have a limited budget, like the events I'll be planning to come out my head, I'll be going crazy. But I work within my means too. But no, it's a little bit of both, man. It's timing. It's just thinking about what's missing. You know what I'm saying? And what's the need? Like some events be oversaturated, or some shit like the city need to see. Like sometimes we might need 18-day parties in 1 month because we only got 2 months of good weather. You know what I'm saying? So it all depends on what's going on, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, so all our listeners can come hit you up if they need event planning.
For the most part.
What's the crazy event that what's the craziest event? Nah, I ain't gonna say that. What's the event that you probably wouldn't do? Is that like I know you're not doing weddings or no shit like that.
Nah, so honestly, like in my email, I got like the event planning certification class and wedding planning on there. Like wedding planning is essential. I'm probably the only motherfucker. I'm the only man, but it's rare that most men want to be involved in that. But I like detail. So to me, any nigga that put together an outfit or probably put together a color scheme for their wedding, right? To me, that's not all based on women. Like even in my crib, I got art and shit like that because I like how certain shit looks. You know what I'm saying? It's just me. So yeah, I'll definitely do wedding planning. It's just that it's a lot more pressure with that shit. It's like they got you one and done. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't fuck that up. So it's a lot more pressure. But no, I definitely listen to it. I think it's important. It just is so much. Like I'm not. People always confuse event planning with like this decorating. Right. And to me, it's more to that. And I think that on the decorating side, like I need a little more insight on that. Like what patterns go with what fabric go with what, seasonal things. Like a lot of people who like big on fashion on event plan, they really into that shit and they really into what season goes with this, what goes with that, what's appropriate, what's not. And me, I don't really like following rules like that when I do events. Like I want to be like, okay, this shit look dope, and let's move it forward. So I gotta learn to me, everything is about theory and practice. The theory is the science behind it. Okay, what you doing? It can be a podcast, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna learn about the best sounds and how to record it properly, and the practice is doing it. So like I didn't know the theory behind wedding planning. Okay. Do you got the notes for this episode?
I got them.
Not you.
Yeah.
Ricky.
I did.
He sent me the questions. I grazed through them. I like being organic when I answer questions and shit, so I want to do a bunch of research. But he definitely sent
Yeah, because I was gonna ask, well, which one do you want to go into first, Mallow? Because I really don't. I'm gonna save the first one for Trail because I know he wrote that.
Yeah.
That's about it.
So I mean, we could talk about why I brought him on here. The reason what we was talking about. So on Facebook, I made a post. I took a picture of an episode of Full House where Jesse was like pretending to be pregnant or whatever. It was the bet. So I posted it and I basically was trolling the people that say that Lil Nas X is confusing kids with the whole promo for his album, saying he pregnant with his album and stuff. And I was basically trolling them saying like, you know, basically saying like, we've seen this time and time again and nobody was ever talking about kids being concerned with kids being confused. And he brought up a point that I wasn't trying to, like, I'm not really going for people that's like, y'all confusing the kids, because I don't think that's not saying nothing and it's not enough. But he brought up a point that I was willing to discuss that made sense to me. So I'm like, all right, this ain't what I'm thinking, but what he's saying has a lot of validity to it. So I do want, as somebody that don't agree with the masses about everybody hating Lil Nas about pretending to be pregnant, he brought up a perspective that I was willing to discuss and get a better understanding of. So if you want to get into that, you got the floor.
Yeah. So, and I hate speaking on topics like this sometimes because people just hear one thing and just, you know, he feels this way. You know what I'm saying? Like most people who say, you know, it's about the kids might be rooted in, I don't really, but somebody in homophobia, I say anti-gay too. To me, the whole word phobia is a reason why it's a reason why people use phobia versus isms, right? But not even going into that completely. But with Lil Nas X thing, I'm personally say I don't like trolls, right? Like I hate 6ix9ine Tekashi because he's a fucking troll. I just never been a fan of the nigga. Like he's never had per se a gay agenda, but I hate niggas that do goofy shit for attention. Never been my thing.
Yeah.
Never been my thing.
Right.
Like Prince used to wear a lot of questionable things, but that's what the fuck Prince was. I don't think it was a gimmick. I don't think it was a cry for attention. I think that's who the fuck Prince is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Where I think Lil Nas X is a gimmick. I believe he does things for attention, which is cool. That's the era we in. I'm not a fan of a lot of this era we in. I'm not a fan of publicity stunts. Like, I don't take Kanye and Drake serious with their beef. I fucking don't. I hate niggas can't live in mansion 2 blocks away and tell me they real hot. I like their music. I don't take it seriously. I think it's a fucking gimmick. It's funny to me. It's a joke. But whatever. And I don't get into that. Well, Lil Nas X, I think the difference now is, and working with kids, like, I didn't say it before online. I do find it funny that we feel like violence influences the youth and everything else. We feel like fucking obesity on TV can influence the youth. The suicide rates went up after 13 Reasons Why. When you had Allen Iverson, everybody wanted to do crossovers, but then when you put something that's gay on TV, you think it'll influence the kids. We can't cut the line there and say, oh, but that's not an influence. Everything in the fucking media influences the kids, right? Being I work with kids now, I got to hear conversations from them. I never to present day seen something say birthing people, right? I don't know what the fuck is that? Women? But the idea now is that if you identify as a man, even if you were a woman, you're a man now, so you can have a baby. So the language in itself is fucking confusing. Just being 100 with you.
Yeah, no, that's for real.
20 years ago, there was never, I knew as a kid that a man can't fucking have a baby. There wasn't any language that said a man can have a baby. It was cut and fucking dry. Men cannot have babies, right? But now that rhetoric is anti-trans or transphobic. And I don't like to say phobic because, like I said, phobia is they use language for a reason. I'm not scared of trans people. You know what I'm saying? Some people are anti-trans though. It is what it is. But if I was to say, like, in a job interview, or I was the baby to go on a concert and say, hey, only men can have babies, I might fuck around and get canceled.
Yeah.
Because of the language.
I do, I don't want to cut you off, but I do like the language thing. I'm torn because when you think about it, some of it, not all of this language makes sense to me because like the pronoun thing is ridiculous because that pronouns are used to save yourself from learning everybody's name. So we can't walk around knowing everybody's name. You feel me? So that's why we have pronouns. But now it's like when I meet you, I have to know specifically what you want as a specific person wants to be referred to as. At this point, now I got to know your name and everybody else that falls under this umbrella of use my pronouns correctly. You feel me? So I don't like the fact that 0.4, the percentage of people that identify as like 4% in the whole country under the LGBTQ, you know what I'm saying, umbrella. So now we have to change the way we understand.
Or gay.
No, LG, yes. Trans is like
in the country?
No, the LGBTQ, the whole country is like 4 or 6. Like that will say they identify.
Of people that they found an umbrella?
Yes. That will openly.
Where the numbers coming from?
Bro, I could try to pull it up right now, but I'll try to pull it up right now.
That do sound like a low number.
Because now,
it is, bro. But you got to think about it, bro. It seems far more prevalent because people are willing to say it, and that's what I've been saying. That's kind of my counter argument with you with when you say the television influences people with their sexuality. I think that it just makes them more comfortable with it. It doesn't necessarily change it, but it's a low percentage. I don't know, bro, let's say it's 20% though. For the sake of the argument, let's say 20% of the country identifies. That's still way too little of a number to change humanity in itself and how we refer to as men and women.
I will say this. I have said time and time and again, I don't know how many years, but I think the way it's going to be a point where like everybody just going to be having sex with every type of gender. I just feel like, not saying that this making us gay, but I think like we gonna get to a point of comfortability where it's just gonna be like, well, I'm a dude that has sex with dudes, and like, cause like it's just like you saying, like, I don't really think that the TV is really like I don't think it's really like brainwashing or whatever, kid. But I do get I always said that too. I always said like, well, everything else does influence kids. We can't just draw the line here. You know what I'm saying? I think it just makes everybody, like you said, more comfortable. And I think like within years, like Man, there's some stuff I wish I could share with you on here, but I just can't.
Bro.
No, I can't. But it just helped me believe that like I'm like, man, more and more men are like getting into the line of like that where it comes to sexuality, where people used to question it, is kind of like it's gonna be like normal. Like even like we see more people talking about pegging. You said what, bro?
So no, you're right. It become a norm, which in my field, I had to adapt to that and understand that. Because whereas in 2014, I might have 15 kids in the group, and 2 might be bisexual or gay. Whereas now, out of those 15 kids, 12 of those kids will openly say I'm bisexual.
Yeah, it's so many young women, adults. I mean, even when I was coming up saying that they was like bisexual, you know what I'm saying? And there was nothing, we didn't have as much influence. Now we got influence, and now it's just like, I think at one point when I was leaving high school, it was kind of like cool to just be a girl and say like, oh, you had sex with a girl or you was messing with a girl, or like, it was a thing. It was girls like, yeah, I got a girlfriend. And like, I just was like, all right, like, but I think with TV and everything else, putting it out there more, I do think it's going to be more people saying like, oh yeah, we can do this now. So, you know, so I don't think it influenced them. I think it's just like the okay to just be like, well, I ain't saying that it shouldn't have been okay.
Shit.
House today past the front.
Sorry.
It's all good. I ain't saying that it's not okay to, you know, do whatever you want to do, but I think like it is, like just like how like years ago we probably wouldn't out here like, matter of fact, years ago when we was in high school, everybody didn't have guns. But when Chief Keef came out and all this shit, everybody, I was literally just in the gas station.
Everybody.
Yeah. And this dude, everybody looking at the dude in the gas. Yeah. So
even drugs, bro, like popping pills and shit. Like when I was in high school, niggas pop pills.
I say that all the time. We used to laugh at white kids for doing that. White kids, look at them white kids doing that tussing. Y'all remember it was like in 5th grade, white kids was doing tussing. Now look at everybody, black kids tussing. And I was just telling you the other day, like the lean culture didn't die because like now they really using the names because so many people using this shit. It ain't just lean no more. Just like how weed used to be just weed. Now niggas like, nah, this some white runts. Nah, this cookies. It's just like they got the actual names because niggas really doing this shit now.
I pulled it up. My bad. On ABC News, according to the Gallup poll released Wednesday, this was February 21st, 5.6% of the United States adults identify as LGBT, which is up 4.5% based on the company's 2017 data.
It's so 4% from.
Oh, bro, think about this though, Mallow. So it's 6% now, right? And from 2017 to now, it rose 4%.
That's what I was going to say.
No, it says it went up from 4.5, so it went up 0.9.
Oh, never mind then.
So, I mean, I don't argue with data, even though I know how data can be skewed. I mean, it's there. You know what I'm saying? That's what it says.
And that's also people that are openly admitted. So I think it's a little bit higher. I do think it's a little bit higher.
I'm gonna say a part of language too is this. You ever heard of the gingerbread man? Gingerbread man.
What you mean?
So when you go to LGBTQ training, right? LGBTQIA training, it's a gingerbread man. They break down the difference between sex, gender, gender expression, sexual preference. They break it down so people can understand it. And really so younger people can understand it. So I did the training for the first time, I think like 2013, and they had different parts of the gingerbread person's body parts, shit like that. So like, you know, they had like the brain, which shows you like what their sexual preference is. They had like the outer layer, they had like the genitals and shit. And now they added the heart. And what the heart is saying is that as a man, I can have sex with other men, but since I don't love them, I'm not considered gay. So now they're removing the emotion from them. I'm not lying, bro. Like, I'm not making this shit up.
Oh my God.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not one of them niggas that be like, man, this is a gender. They want like, but when you look at population control, we look at hormones getting put in water, it's a lot of patterns shit out here. You know what the fuck going on? It's like, gee, it's a lot of shit happening around us. I'm not one of them niggas that be coming on TV like, oh my God, people gonna be gay. But I do believe the longer I take to have a son, the more prevalent or the increase the idea of him being
chances,
it's going up. And I'm happy okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a realist. Like, this
I get
is the world I'm in. Like, it is what it fucking is. But yes, nigga, it says that you can have sex with a man and you don't have to identify as gay because you're not in love with a man. It's only physical.
Yep.
See, bro, and that's go ahead.
No, I was gonna say they go right with what I was saying. Like within years, it's gonna be more and more people. Different. Cause like, my bad. I'm gonna be real quick. I was gonna say like y'all remember like back in the day, it was older niggas talking about they want their ass ate and all this other stuff. Now you got like niggas our age, like, I'm gonna give this a try. Like, so, but go ahead.
I think things are changing, and I'll never deny that media influences. I do think it just made people more comfortable because all our peers grew up watching the same shit we did, and they still who they are. I don't think it's like changing what would have been. I think it's just speeding up the process. I think, in my opinion.
Also, bro, you know how like medicine works. Like, I don't think we was intaking media this much, bro. We didn't have this shit tapped out.
No, we weren't. We weren't.
I seen some shit on TV, and nigga, but you know what, nigga? I thought I was a fucking Power Ranger. I thought I was fucking Tony Hawk's. So I can't say I like the media didn't influence me. My dumb ass on Saturday night shit with a skateboard, finna kill myself. You know what I'm saying? Trying to do this shit.
No, yeah, I was skateboarding.
Shit developed so much.
I seen, nigga, it did impact me.
Yeah.
It's just that I mean, a lot of shit just wasn't all the time. Something shit.
But let's be honest though, bro. Let's be honest. Kissing another man is a different level of commitment than getting on a skateboard. I think, bro, you ever heard of the kissing shit? Kids especially. Kids know, but that's a developmental process. That's been since kids or been kids.
Right.
Like the whole, you know what I'm saying, touching and laughing and shit and trying shit as a child. That's part of developing. But to commit yourself to being physically attracted to a sex and continuing that for your life, that's a different level of commitment than, oh, let me even fucking buy a gun, or let me try skateboarding, or I think I can learn karate because I love Power Rangers. That level of commitment is different, bro. That defines you indefinitely.
Why do we see commitment? That's my thing. That's my thing, though. Like we assuming that niggas committing when that's not the case. Like it's like. Well, so if I'm not committing to doing drugs, it's some shit I'm just doing, right? You know what I'm saying? Like I think that, and this is what I mean by this, because like I said, I don't feel like motherfuckers when they watch TV and it's like, damn, I want to suck dick now. Like that shit don't make sense to me. Shit, that's ridiculous. Like,
and that's what I'm hoping you're not saying. That's what I'm hoping you're not saying.
Or I'm watching Chief Keef, like, you know what? I'm gonna kill an op right now. You know what I'm saying? If I don't do nobody, why am I thinking like that? So no, I don't think it works that way, right? But I think it creates the idea for the opportunity, and we make shit a norm. It's a fucking norm. Like the same thing, and I don't want to compare homosexuality and pedophilia, but at the end of the day, if that becomes common in the media, you're gonna hear about more and more. Like back in the day, more and more niggas was fucking people. Grandmas was 20, their granddaddy 45. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit was common, and now it's kind of like that shit weird because our generation don't think it's common. So it really go into what motherfuckers do as norms most of the time. Like right now, doing drugs is norms. When I was 18, 17, you pop pills, you used to fucking cluck to me. At least.
For sure. You still
even with this, like my generation, right? Let's say, and I had a conversation with my kids the other day, and I was like, okay, interesting. So when I was in high school, grammar school, and somebody asked me about somebody trans, in my mind, they're trans as a kid, right? I'm not finna say that's a woman. I'm gonna say this is a woman that used to be a man, or vice versa. Now, the kids I work with will actually say, no, that's a woman, wholeheartedly. Like, if they have the operation, they're a woman, period. And I even had heterosexual men say they would date them now because they're a woman, right? Dead ass. And the same thing with girls. I'd had girls say, look, if they were still a man, still a woman, then no, because that made me gay. But now that they're a man, I would date them because they're a man now. So even that in itself is a difference in culture, bro. and it's a norm.
Very much so. Very much so. I think that it does. I think what it's doing is just opening the door for people to do the shit that they probably would do inevitably. But like you said, it's opening opportunities. And I think that it just kind of leaves room for people to be a little bit more content with living their own life the way they want to. But it is kind of sticky when you said girls will be like, oh, since it's a man now, I'm good. Because it's like, so you do like men, meaning this opportunity never presented itself. So I do think that kind of opens up a different type of realm where it's like, all right, so how happy are you going to be till you can't have a kid? You know what I'm saying? Like, or if you truly don't want that in life, then it is what it is.
But now niggas trying to get woman transplants. So I'm saying, like, it's only so much I can say. Like, you know,
now listen, I'll
like,
be the one to say it. My bad. Go ahead.
I would say like with me, bro, it's not. I feel like niggas wasting their time trying to fight this shit. Like niggas like Lil Boosie. Like I'm not gonna be on here arguing. Oh man, they're trying to change the kids. Like to me, nigga, it's there, bro. It is what it is, bro. We don't control the media. And this when things are become like same with being black, right? They want to make every fucking cartoon character black or every movie black. What they want to do is they get $1. A lot of people don't even care about the gay culture, but at the same time, they know that they're going to support whatever art they're portraying because it represents gay people. So if that's something that's popular right now, hell yeah, I'm finna do a movie. And I'm going to make sure I have a gay character in there because diversity sells. It always is going to fucking sell. You know, that's just where we at right now. You got to understand the game. But some niggas they be in their feelings, they be hurt, they be upset. I care less about motherfucking address. At the same time, though, I'm not a woman with fertility issues. I know I can't have a baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't speak on how women feel when some people say, I know how you feel because I feel like I was born this way. That shit is totally different. But I feel that's where we at, bro. I feel that's just the time we in. I feel like that's just where we going. And I'm not going to be online arguing with niggas and getting mad at people because they identify a certain way. To me, that's a waste of my time. That's trivial shit. Like, it's not, you know what I'm saying? It don't make no fucking sense to me.
Yeah. I think that was cool. We could move on. We could keep it hot though. So have y'all heard about the R. Kelly, like the testimonies people have been having against R. Kelly?
Some of them, I said.
Some of them.
So I said something about it, and everybody thought I was saying like he didn't do the shit. I'm like, I never claimed he didn't do shit. I have an issue with people saying he's a ball hog in basketball. Like, what the fuck are we talking about now?
What?
Like, they like, bro, motherfuckers is in court like, yeah, R. Kelly, when we used to travel, we used to have
what the fuck?
Bro,
what the fuck?
I'm dead serious, bro. They in there saying like, when they travel, they got to make sure they have a gym reserved for R. Kelly. And when we play, he always has to have the ball. He always has to have the basketball. He felt like he was Michael Jordan when he was in the court.
What the fuck do that got to do with anything?
Irrelevant shit.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. It's like they're trying to make him the fucking meta villain of all villains, bro. And I'm like, y'all got him already. Y'all
use all the tissue and never leave us any.
Bro, type shit. Like for real, G. They saying they like when he used to go to the NBA games, he would make the girls look on the ground if they were looking at the players on the court, and if they came by, they couldn't look at them. And I'm just like, all right, everything else he's done is worse than this shit. And the fact that y'all can even claim that there's a lot of women that even was going along with this is bullshit to me. I'm not saying he wasn't controlling. I'm saying this shit is so stupid.
I think the courtroom thing probably would they probably use that for
his character.
Yeah, to show his character. But the basketball shit, I just
bro. And I talked about this recently, bro. So the R. Kelly shit is so like me. Like I ain't gonna lie, on my playlist, I don't have no R. Kelly songs, not on purpose at least. If I hear this in the club, I'm not finna walk out. But at the same time, like I'm not purposely listening to him because to me, it's not that hard to draw that line. That's just me, right? But I will say this about the R. Kelly shit. I think the message, we do this a lot too, especially with young women. Like for instance, let's say I got a student, right, who got a big homie who had him selling drugs, shooting at motherfuckers and whatnot. That's sure gonna get some time. They're not gonna say he manipulated by nobody else to do it, even though that might be the case. Shorty's going to get some time. You know what I'm saying? Or he might not get a lot of time, but he's still gonna take some type of blame for this. On the other end, I work with teens. I was a teen. People have to make decisions. I don't think R. Kelly kidnapped no fucking body. I think he had contracts and money paid, and I think motherfucker would alone with the shit. So I think it's dangerous to be like, he made them, because it removes the idea that people have any type of free will in a situation, which is not the fucking case. You know what I'm saying? Like,
especially at 15, 16.
It's not the case. Like, nigga, I know very well the fuck I was doing 15 and 16. Could I have been smarter and more mature? Of course. But doing for the hand, I can do shit I ain't want to do. Like, it's just dangerous.
Right. That you didn't.
It's just dangerous rhetoric.
Yeah,
like,
it is. And that's why.
So misused now. I'm like, bro.
When we came on here a few weeks ago, I said that believe all women stuff is dangerous. Like, you cannot say believe all women because there's a fact that people lie, especially when you got money involved. There's no way you can tell. Like you said, he ain't kidnapped these girls and hold them hostage. And you know, I'm sure y'all probably know girls that done encountered R. Kelly or got friends that done fucked with him or something.
Nah, that's how I know this shit is true because
that's what I'm saying. We know people that legit knew what they were doing and their parents knew, and there was money involved in it. We know that. Yeah. Like, it's a fact. And I'm not saying it's even every single girl, but we know that you gotta really take this shit serious. I want him to pay for really what he did. That's fine. But this whole like this basketball shit and looking at people's shit, all that shit is weird to me. And it just seems like it's like we gotta say all this. And that's why Kill Me Now, I believe when he had that interview with Gail, when he started spazzing, I think that's because he knew he was wrong, but people saying anything about him. Like I think it was like, I'm fucked up, but y'all just doing too much. He said, I don't know how to hog tie. Like, I believe he don't know how to hog tie nobody.
I know. That's too funny, though. They still in back of my mind, bro. It's hilarious to this day. But to your point, like, do I think he's guilty? Yes, nigga. Of course. Like, I had girls in high school, so they go to R. Kelly parties, and I'm like, then they sneaking in? And I got older, it was like, no, they're the ones who's invited. Like, this is meant for their ass. Like, it is what it is. But do I think they can throw anything into the fire now? Of course. But that's the thing about it. It's almost like you had that kid that get in trouble all the time, right? Always doing some bad shit. And then when something happened and they ain't do it, it wasn't even me. It's like, well, nigga, people think you could your reputation. You created a reputation. You created that energy, bro. Like, he made that shit happen. Like, certain shit, if a motherfucker know me and what I post or be around me, certain shit they just know I wouldn't do. Yeah. But the fact that R. Kelly be wilding so much, it's like, well, shit.
It's like, right, anything goes. Yeah, anything goes.
Maybe, you know what I'm saying? But nah, it's
anything goes.
But I don't know, man. The media, and I tie this into the little Nas X shit. Like, we so used to gimmicks and people trying to get attention. It's hard to tell what's real nowadays. It's hard to tell what's real. So people in the courtroom, they might say anything in that bit, and you just don't know. But I don't like the idea that he's guilty as fuck. He's definitely gonna go to jail. It is what it is. But that nigga did not act on his own.
For facts. For facts. Like, y'all need to get everybody involved. Everybody.
At all. And I especially back in the day, like, all type of times, a mother or grandmother or, that man got some money going on over there, baby, because it was a fucking norm. Like, it was a norm for motherfuckers. Think about it. A man, bro, think about us dating a woman our age, right? There's no way we're going to be able to pay all the bills shit at 18. There's no fucking way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Right. So they're going to have to go for an older man who's more established to do so. So that was a fucking norm. Like, there was no way in hell niggas your age would come out of school with you and making this much money to, sometimes it happen, but it's very difficult. That's why typically the man would be older than the woman. And that was just a norm.
If you LeBron.
Right. Yeah. And that just, not niggas taking care of whole families and shit, working at the fucking railroad. It's like, wait a minute, like, how does add up? Like, nigga, I'm an 18-year-old college student. Like, how the fuck is this working? So yeah, like, it was a norm for them to talk to older men. And R. Kelly probably definitely came around throwing that bread. And if he still was the number one artist with money, this would not be a conversation right now.
This is true. And that's what I said. I'm like, everybody came for him when the money was gone. Because we done learned that he don't own his shit. Nigga couldn't read and all this shit. It's like, oh, so now everybody telling because he ain't got no money. Because we knew since Aaliyah, that's when it was known. Then we saw him on video. You know, it's like, this ain't new. And R. Kelly been chilling. So it's just like, y'all ain't got no money. Now y'all want to tell. And it's like, this ain't about morals anymore. It's about money.
That's why I get mad, bro. And that's why you get mad the whole what about the kids shit. Because it's like, nigga, you don't give up about that shit for real. It's not about the morals. You know what I'm saying? That's why with me.
That's why, yeah.
I ask my friends who are a part of the LGBTQ community, I say, how do you teach kids the history without the sexuality part? Well, I'm like, you can't because it's based on sexuality. And now, my kids see this shit in the media and they're very fucking confused. I got a young man, he feel like because he's gay, he could be a hoe. Because in his mind, that's what gay means. Like, that's what gay means. You know what I'm saying? I work with
high school kids too, bro. And it wasn't like this type of question, but it was a very weird question I never thought I'd be asked. So I work with a lot of Hispanic kids, and one of them was like, he said, so I got a question I've been meaning to, I really been wanting to know, and I'm scared to ask, but I guess he wanted to ask because he knew I wouldn't trip. So he was like, so he said, is it racist? he basically thought that you could only be racist if you made a joke about their skin color because it's that kind of defines their race. So he was like, so is it racist if I went to an Asian person, a Chinese person, and said ching chong ching? I said, yes, that's racist. He was like, well, why? That has nothing to do with their race. I said, you made that joke because of their race. You won't come up to me and say that, right? He was like, no. I'm like, right, like the joke came from who they are, which is their race, which is what you saw when you made this joke. And he legit was like, she's like, but it's not their color. And I'm like, don't do that. I'm like, it was crazy that was the question. I'm like, it's about who they are. The joke came from who they are, what they look like, I should say. The joke came from what they look like. So, yes, it's racist. Yeah. So whether or not you see something about their color.
Yeah. The identity piece is real. And that's one of my biggest things now. Like, since we are in an all-inclusive world, trying to go to an all-inclusive world, whatever that means, right? Because even when you become all-inclusive, you exclude somebody. You like, just
I was finna say it. You don't make, yeah.
You know, it's hard to make everybody happy. I think that when they start being into the media, I think either the parents or whoever else, like, Jesse influences the kids, and we have to find a way to articulate the shit to them. Like, because they're going off stereotypes and shit. And they're going off what's popular. Like, even the mental health field. I had no kids. All the kids I work with, even when I did it, they want to have something that's edgy about them. So they even want to say they got anxiety or depression, or say they're gay. I'm being honest, bro. Or say they're a gang member.
It's just funny, but I believe it.
Nobody wants to be just a regular fucking kid. But everybody wants to identify as one of these things. Everybody wants to have something about them that makes them different.
They want to have something wrong with them. They want to be in the LGBTQ. They want to be a gangster. Something.
Or they want to say they got mental health problems. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Something wrong with them.
That's what's prevalent in the community. And once upon a time, the LGBTQ thing was there, but now it's there now. It's like it's a staple. You know what I'm saying? It's on the forefront. So like I didn't just understand, like, nigga, that's the time we at right now. We gotta figure out how to articulate this shit to the kids. Like, cause I be hearing about my students that do identify a way, it'd be like, what? Like they're like, yeah, I identify as women because women talk a lot. I don't know what the fuck you talking about. And like all boys do is play sports, and I can outsmart them, so I already identify as a boy. And this shit was
oh my god!
And it's like, oh my god.
Oh shit!
Is it fucked up that I feel bad because I know you work with black kids and these is black kids talking to you, man? That makes it so much worse.
I identify as a woman because women talk a lot.
Bro, that's a good ass joke, bro. Somewhere in there, that's a good ass joke, bro.
He was serious. He was dead ass. And I'm in the group, and I'm like, you realize you talk more than all the women in the group, right? He was like, so it's like shit like that. I got a debacle. The shit the media has put in place all the time. Even the idea that a gay man has to be feminine. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I got a kid who say he likes men, so he thought he got to wear his lipstick, which is fine. But it's like gay is not one way.
With it. It don't go with it. Yeah.
It's not mandatory. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, these kids watching fucking TV and they're not watching anything that's going in depth on their identity. Same thing with studying in race. He needs race training. He needs to be exposed to different cultures to understand what the fuck racist really means. And we do the same shit. We be wearing sombreros and shit. Cinco de Mayo. Like, Latino community don't like that shit.
And that shit don't mean nothing to Mexicans.
They don't like that shit. They think it's like blackface to them.
No, not only that, you know, I'm saying Cinco de Mayo isn't a thing for Latino. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And a lot of Latino, if you cool, they be like, motherfuckers like, mother take shots, eat tacos, and what's her brother like? That's our culture, and it's fucking nice, slap in the face. But a lot of black people don't know that shit, and niggas still wearing sombreros and kicking it like it's okay when it's not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I think the biggest thing, bro, is, and that's why we make comments like, even identifying as heterosexual black man, you'll say shit that most won't, and niggas will be like, what the fuck? But because
right.
You challenge the norm. You know what I'm saying? Like, you challenge the norm.
Right.
Like, a girl, like, certain shit, like, I don't give a fuck with nobody judge me up, but I'm fucking me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not finna sit here and align with her agenda because I'm me. Like, yeah, I'm heterosexual male, and I might listen to the fucking Spice Girls, nigga. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, but a lot of niggas, they just feel like the world has to be one way, and here we are.
My white coworker the other day, he was like, despite what you may think about me, the first album I did buy was the Chronic album. And I was like, bro, what you mean despite what I think about you? I listened to The Temptations, Michael Jackson, Doja Cat, Tupac, 50 Cent. I like, music don't mean nothing, bro. I'm like, I don't care about none of that. Just tell me that this is the first album you bought. Talking about despite what you think about me, nigga. You can buy the Chronic album.
The way white people try to connect.
People have their own problems, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's like me, man. Despite you think about me, I be watching Vogue on TV. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, what they gotta do with anything? I don't even like ballroom, nigga. Like, you can still be fucking watch ballroom dance, nigga. Like, that's irrelevant.
I found that most white people, when they try to connect, it's always, not always, but no, always, most of the time, it's always some type of fucked up connection like that when they try to connect. They'll be like, I was with my trainer when I was training him. He's like, yeah, man, you know, the other black dude we seen back there. He's like, yeah, I trained him too. He's like, tripped him out when I showed him how much rap I knew. I was just like, what the fuck? He's like, yeah, I grew up in the Heights. You know, the Heights is mixed, so I was listening to everything, man. You know, the other ones I always want to bring up Tupac or Biggie. You know, I remember when Tupac and Biggie was beefing. I had both their albums. I was just like, okay.
Hey, y'all ever watch Michael Che show?
No.
It ain't like a modern day Dave Chappelle, and I'm a big Dave Chappelle fan. So I'm gonna put a stamp on that.
I've heard good things about him.
But one episode he was talking about how like white people come to you to send the most random shit. Like, you know, I'm sorry about what's going on. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? This shit went both ways, bro. I was bartending at a Latino. It was like a club. They had like an event going on. And this when the Trump was coming to Chicago, and like motherfuckers like ran him out of Chicago and shit. And I'm watching. He was like, "Hey man, I want to say thank you." Latino dude. I'm like, for what, nigga? He was like, "Man, y'all really had our back at the Trump rally." I'm like, all right, bro, what you want to drink type shit? He's like, nah, for real, man. Like, we really appreciate that. I wasn't even fucking there. But all right, bro, like, we won. Black
so
brown,
he said you was black, so you was at that bitch. You nigga, was
I represent all us, nigga.
Period. Like, you went there and then came to bartend right after.
I was there. I was in front and center. There's a nigga with locks. It had to be me. So I understand it go a few ways, man. People be trying to relate. That's all. That's all.
It just be so funny, man. Whenever I do deal with white people when they do it, because like you said, like you be like, you didn't even have to do all that. You could have just
like to me, shit. Like, mind you, this ain't the first day we spoke. Like, I done been working in this place for 3 weeks now. He said this fucking Thursday, and I'm like, bro,
he just want to get close.
Cool. He been cool to me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. I thought he was a murderer at first, bro. But I talked to my lady. She like, nah, man, you just made your first good white friend. I was like, maybe he is, because she got a white friend that be in her business, bro. You know, like, I don't know if y'all have experienced this. The nigga asked so many questions about my personal life, and I'm like, he trying to get to know me to kill me, bro. And I told her, I said, if something happened to me, I'm telling you this.
No, you know what it is? You know what it is? White people are so fucking open, bro. I was going to say that next. Because right after my trainer started doing that, he was like, yeah, man, I used to listen to this to my wife, but now my wife now. We getting a divorce. And about like, they're just so open about.
And we don't do that shit.
Yeah, we don't really do that.
Phil said they shouldn't stand up too. Like, he was like, white people everything but voting. He like, who you voting for? He like, whoa. It's too personal. Anyway, I fucked my wife in the ass last night, right?
Yeah, that's them. Because look, what's so crazy is this same guy, right? He's telling me all this shit. He's telling me about how his wife, his now finna be divorced wife, smoking weed now, and she trying to hang with young people. I said, hey man, look, I just got hired. I said, I know we got this like 401k benefit. I said, I don't understand how does this one work, because you know everybody give you a certain amount or they might match this. And I'm like, well, how does it work? He said, well, did you read it? I said, yeah, I don't understand it. I said, like, how do it? He said, well, I'm like, you don't want to tell me this shit right here. But you want to be all direct about your wife fucking with younger dudes and smoking weed and like how you don't like weed and all types of shit. I just like, man, I'm like, I was in the truck. I just like, we are just so different, man. We so different.
Man. Because I swear
you ever hear the conversations like at the airport and shit, or like at a restaurant, you be like, this is shit y'all talking about?
Yeah, I have like even like not even just that they talk about, but like would do publicly, like you said, like they'll be in line at the fucking restaurant and talking about shit. It's like, you loud about this, you don't care. Like, yeah, but she made me realize she got a white friend that she felt like asked a lot of questions at one point in time, and now they just super cool, and she is really nice. And she's like, nah, you just made your first white friend, and I'm like, I guess because all the white people I know have a black background, like the white people that I'm really cool with. So it's just like it's so different, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I think he's trying to kill me.
They do shit like this, bro. they'll be like say some new chips come out, you be like, oh dang, I might have to try them. They'll dead ass be like, get them. You be like, what? Or they'll dead ass dig in the bag and give you one. Be like,
hey. No, bro. It's so weird how like culturally some shit they just so carefree. Like we in a work meeting and my boss used to like come from like different countries and like offer us like food or snacks and shit during the meetings, right? So we got it's always that one black coworker who don't give a fuck about nothing. They just don't have no filter. So security guard comes in. He's like, oh, you got a meeting, my bad. And then my boss offered him something to eat. And one of the white girls who was an intern was like, yeah, you want something? He said, yeah. She started grabbing the shit with her hand, throwing the plate. And it was like half that plate. And most of us looking like, as hell. But him being a nigga without a filter, he's like, hey, what you doing? Hands like that. Hey, what you doing? With the hands like that? He's like, what you mean? I don't have a cootie. I said, hey, y'all, I got it. So grab a napkin and you grab the motherfucking shit. But it's different, bro. I done had a few experiences when I was like, oh, this shit different.
My bad. You seen the share a Starbucks drink yet? When like a girl will come in and be like, oh, this is so good. Like, and they'll be like, really? And they'll like get like and shit. I've seen it. Oh, that is good. Hand it right back. I just be like,
oh my God.
There goes COVID. The fuck?
And you know what? I'm not here to bash white people, but honestly, every time I go in the restroom, you know who I see don't wash their hands?
White people.
There's always been a thing. That's just a norm.
The episode of one. Y'all remember that? Okay, that episode of My Wife and Kids, bro. Did y'all see it? Where he was. I don't know if y'all watched My Wife and Kids, but
I'm actually starting over from the first season right now.
Good idea, because I've been enjoying the fuck out of it. It was a 2-part episode, bro, where he met dude at the gas pump and he was doing too much and took forever. And then they had dinner together. And they didn't plan. They had to sit together and they was arguing the whole time. And they went in the bathroom and they was both pissing. And they made up at the stall. And he was like, all right, that's fine. He put his hand up. He like, the fuck no. And then so when Michael was done pissing, he was talking to him at the station washing his hands. And he look up, dude gone, and they ain't wash his hands. So he came back like, he put his pee-pee hands all over my lobster. He grabbed his food and shit. It was like, I was crying.
That's why
and I'm like, a black person doing that role wouldn't have made sense.
Nah, it wouldn't. Because even for like, at least I'm making shot of finesse, like, nigga, leave cut the water on. They don't give a fuck, man. They don't even try to create
that. Ain't fake it.
They don't care. They don't care.
I told on a nigga.
You told on somebody?
I told on nigga at Home Depot, word everything I love. Like maybe 3 weeks ago, I was at Home Depot, Menards, and I had to stop at Menards, and I'm in there, and he peed, and he walked. I'm like washing my hands, and he walked out. I said, yo, that I don't care. I said,
oh my God.
I said that is so disgusting. I said him with the cowboy belt on that just left out. I said he didn't wash his hands after I said he out here touching on himself and touching on everything. I said that's why, and they ain't do nothing. They just like
they didn't expect that, nigga.
You know what area I was in too? You remember when I just told y'all I was in that area on the last episode, Mello? I was yours? I was in. Look, so I work for a company, right, and I deliver stuff, right. They put me in a white neighborhood for like 4 days, and after that I got on the podcast, and I was like, man, I was nervous because I was around all white people. And like y'all said, like the conversation be different. Even the way they talk be different. They say shit like this. Oh, I'm hungry. I need food. I need water. I'd be like, you want some water? Like just just the way they talk, it just be. So, I found myself just saying like, instead of saying like, I'm good, I'd be like, I'm well. Cause they say well but it was different. You know what I'm saying? It was real different. And it happened out there and they just was looking at me like I was crazy. I was like the only black person. I was like, he just didn't watch that. I was like,
that shit is a norm. See, what shit is a norm is like, nigga, what you mean? It's a norm. Like,
it's literally a sign right there above the sink that say employees wash hands. Just gonna disregard that?
So filthy.
He said, fuck that sign, huh?
So yeah, if y'all out there in New Lenox, Menards, make sure y'all sanitize whatever y'all buy, cause little cowboy belt over there touching on his little horsey and then going back to work without washing his hands. It's disgusting, man.
Shaking people hands and shit. He help motherfuckers out.
You
I was gonna say you was at the damn hardware store. You wasn't even at like a restaurant.
Look, that hardware store. That's the first place after they help you. They want to do that little explosion bullshit. They want to, yeah, all right, yeah, no problem. Like that type of shit up in there. But
you want to get to one of your topics?
I was gonna say relationship problems start in middle school. Only reason why I said that is because I'm sitting here looking at some middle schooler talk about like I want my boyfriend to live in my skin. And I'm just like,
live in my skin?
Yeah, right. They want them to be around them all the time. And then now I see like these high school girls, like my girl, her little sister, she be getting into it with her dude. She in high school, but she a young adult, like 19. She be getting into her dude because he want to go do shit. And she like, well, you need to be with me or you need to be around. And I'm just like, do this shit start in middle school? Because I see like a bulk of the problem be like you not wanting to spend, us not wanting to spend as much time, because from that comes we gay because we want to hang with dudes. And from that comes y'all treat the homies better than the women. And it's just, all of that derives from us not wanting to spend every fucking hour with y'all. Even like there's so many jokes about like women talking about, I'm going to bed. Okay. Well, you gonna stay up without me? You need to go to bed. Like, what the fuck?
That's
why
a real
you always?
Thing, bro. That's a real thing, bro.
I don't get why women always want to be so attached to us, and then once this the thing. Everybody knows whether it's you seen it on a movie or in real life. After you spend so much time with your woman, they can get bored very easily, and now the relationship could be in question and shit like that. It is like y'all did this. Y'all wanted us around.
You made me be here.
You wanted me here all day. Of course, I'm gonna get bored. You hear me? I can only come up with so much, and it's like once you do like I see myself doing so much shit that I see other people get appraised for, and they just be like, it's because I'm here all the fucking time. It's like other women be like, he cleaned the house. I'm like, I clean the house every day. Every other woman, I'm like, I cooked every day. Like it just be like. So that stuff I ain't gonna say I don't know if it gets unappreciated in my house, but I do know it can get unappreciated a whole lot. We see it in movies. Tyler Perry got a movie about a motherfucking girl that didn't appreciate her basic ass man and went to fuck the nigga with AIDS, and then her whole life was just over with. Like, cause you didn't appreciate it.
That shit be happening though. As a nigga who has to have sex with women in relationships, that shit goes right there. Like, I think it's human nature, bro. I think that motherfuckers just look for something new all the time. Yeah, and even shit we already got, like, I got way more than I had when I was 20, but I still ain't satisfied. It's a gift and a curse with that shit. In happy relationships, it happens at jobs, nigga, it happens in every role. Like, motherfucker have a nice car. By the way, I was kind of like, man, this shit was nice 5 months ago, but now I want something else. It just, some people don't know how to appreciate what the fuck they got, and they take you for granted.
Yeah, I do think there's a sense of like the grass is always greener and shit like that. But I think with people, once you understand that people are people, you got to really understand that it's like they not going to always be on the same page as you at all times. So it's like, I don't know how long, do you know how long they was together? You said the boyfriend wanted to like do something on his own. How long they been together? Do you know? Do you know how long they've been together? Yeah.
They want to do something on his own.
When you said that he was with her and he wanted to do something on his own and they like 19 and you said she was like, you got to be with me.
They've been together like a year or something like that.
Okay. So they've had time. It's not like this is a new relationship.
Yeah, that's always been the argument. It's
right.
Always...
When I was that young, I hadn't even been in a relationship for over a year. So it's just like, right. So he's at that point at that young age. You know what I'm saying? So he like, shit, I'm always with you. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's like,
even my little sister,
my own little sister like that process love different. I believe that women and men see love different. Like they think that if you don't, you know, the shit like they'll be upset. Like if he turned his back to me, he cheating or some shit like that. Like when they go to sleep, like if he don't sleep facing me, then it's an issue type shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be seeing all them jokes, and it's like, bro, I'm comfortable this way.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't sleep right. I move a lot in my sleep, and my lady understand that. She know I can't lay down and go to sleep. I move all through the night, so I can't be sleeping one way all night. So it's like you said, bro.
I just sacrificed the blood of my left arm long enough.
I can't. Right. You're right. You feel me? You cannot lay on me all night. I cannot do that. I won't fall asleep. So you know what I'm saying? And like bro was saying earlier on Facebook, he was like, you got to understand who you with. You feel me? It's men and women and like when you put us all in groups overall, we are very different. But when you start going into who you with, you got to look at that little shit. Yeah. You got to look at little shit once you get into.
And that's what I meant. With. That's what I meant by that. If y'all seen that post, so I made a post and I was saying like, men don't understand women and women don't understand men. And I was basically saying it because all I see on Facebook is like women like, you need to be doing this, and men like, no, you need to be doing this, and it's just like nobody understand nobody. And I'm like, I put in the comments, I was like, Mallow was like, right, and I was like, you just really need to focus on who you with, basically. You know what I'm saying? Because if you do that, like, granted, you're still not gonna understand that same sex, but your odds are better off than you trying to be like, well, men are like this, and then you look at your man and he like none of those things that he a whole different way.
Like, and it's, you know, and that's a big thing too, man, because we always try to put genders in its entirety and forget so many factors that make a fucking human being. Like, my dick only controls so much of my reality, right? You know, like, so it's only so much that me being a man be like, okay, I'm a man, this is what men do. Like, I'm not even watching football right now. I wasn't earlier, right? I'm not big on watching a lot of shit on TV. I play football and basketball, but I've never been a nigga who watch sports all the time because I like to be active in this shit, and I hate to see other niggas getting shit done. Like, that's not me. I'm not big on any celebrity shit alike. So that shit different. Whereas, like, even with gift giving, right? I'm big on knowing the person to get them a gift. I don't buy them a gift because women like this. That's not what the fuck I do. So when a girl be asking, like, man, what should I get him? I'll be like, well, do you know your boyfriend? What does he like? And they be confused. Like, nigga, I might have a girl who likes plants. The other girl might like fucking guns. And this is true. Like, this time is that way.
Oh,
so, it's funny you say that because guess what somebody wants for Christmas?
Right. You gotta know your
piece.
Right. You gotta know what will make them happy, bro. Shorty might want these heels. She might want this fucking pair of mics. Or the girl might want both. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Like, but I'm not finna make an assumption because she's a woman. Like, oh, you know what? She like flowers. Some women don't like flowers because the motherfuckers die. Real shit. Like, Rickey, you gotta know your partner.
I don't know you that. My bad.
You good, bro?
I don't know you that well, but I think you get like exactly how me and Mallow are. Like, it's like, well, me especially, like, I don't really need no support. Like, my girl know right off the back, I'm like, no, I don't want no vacation. I don't want this. I mean, I might want it, but I will plan that myself. I don't want nobody else doing that type of shit. But I don't want any Father's Day, boyfriend day, any holiday, either give me vinyl records or some shoes. That is it. I don't give a fuck about you knowing, like, these men say Creed smell good. I don't want
give a
it.
fuck.
I just want these items.
Bro,
here.
my birthday last year, my lady bought with COVID birthday in the crib. I said, I just want to play the game. She said, okay. Bro, she got me a fucking Nerf gun and a Carnage figure. That's me. I was ecstatic, bro. I'm like,
that's how shit be.
You know, exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's like, fuck the niggas want cologne and socks, and I don't know what the fuck niggas be wanting. I know what I like.
We not on that TV shit.
Cologne, but the gift that stand out to me the most, like, I can remember, like, nigga, in undergrad, my ass bought me the Goofy movie on DVD. Nigga, that's one of my favorite fucking movies. I never gonna forget that gift. You know what I'm saying? Recently, somebody who I deal with bought me a fucking DMX boombox radio. I was
that's
a fan growing up, and it's a Bluetooth radio. I'm like, this shit dope as fuck. Like,
that's you, right?
Nigga, I was a DMX fan. Like, you snap, shorty. Somebody bought me a T-shirt. It was like, I think it was like, to me, this is triple entendre gift. She bought me a T-shirt for my birthday. It's one of my homies. The shirt was like, I only love my Jeep and my mama. I'm sorry. Now, it was dope because it was a T-shirt. It's a fucking Drake lyric, and it was black and gold. I said, damn, you 3 for 3 on this motherfucker.
Hey, they were crazy.
I mean, I'm a mama's boy, too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you snap for this fucking T-shirt. So, some shit, like, I just remember, like, and you gotta know your mate. Like, motherfuckers took me to Drake concerts before, I'll never forget that shit. You know, whereas some people buy these gifts that, like, all men are like, and it's like, yo, nigga don't like this. Yeah.
And we'll as men, we'll be like, thank you. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it.
We don't get much. We're gonna appreciate it.
We're gonna appreciate it.
You buy me some fucking gloves. I'm like, oh, these some plastic gloves. Thank you. I don't do it, but these buy me some gloves. I love them. And excuse the word, but I can't say like, oh, she ain't thinking about me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think it's harder with women though, because women do shit like, it's December, it's Christmas time. You like, what did you want? You remember you was listening in March. I was telling you about this purse collection, and just be like, what the fuck? Like,
I'm one of the niggas though. I be like, all right, and I put shit in my notes. I'm one of the niggas. So my job is listening. Like I'm a fucking counselor.
Right.
So like, when people say shit, I be observing. You know what I'm saying? Now I do used to hear that like men don't listen, and my last relationship taught me that it isn't necessarily that women don't get niggas' attention, or they take too long to tell a story. So I know what those niggas don't listen.
It be too much fluff.
You can be in the middle of Call of Duty game. You in that shit, and you look up, and you in the middle of a fucking conversation with your girls. Like, wait, when the fuck we start talking? Like, how did we get here? Or they tell you a story that you can tell in fucking 2 minutes, and you going on minute 8, and it's like, you losing me now. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, shit, I gotta focus on this conversation more. So I learned that shit the hard way, because I'm a nigga who could definitely listen, but I learned that like some of that shit be.
It's because women come with so much. I ain't gonna say so much. Women unpack every day. It's like my girl come home every day. It's like new stories about work, new stories about something in her group chat or something. And it's just like I be like, I gotta remember all this shit. Then some show, I be like, and like all I be having to say is like, yeah, what we eating? Yeah, what you want to watch? That's about as far as my reach. That's all be on my mind. I don't be thinking about unpacking a whole bunch of shit. You know what I'm saying? I even talk.
At 9 a.m., my alarm did go off, and the way I felt emotionally was I wasn't ready for my day because the day I think my hard work, like motherfucker, when you have to go to death, like then the mailman came 3 minutes later than he's supposed to.
That's how my girl started off for sure.
Time because why he 2 minutes late as the mailman? You supposed to be having the mail on time. You be like, what the fuck? Like, all this shit happened from that? Right.
That's how my girl started off. She'd be like, oh my God, we didn't want to wake up to this morning. Oh my God, everybody was tired. Then Cairo, let me tell you, your son was spinning all. I just be like, oh my God. Then it finally gets to where she be like, then I was leaving. This girl talking about, see you later, twin. And I'm looking like, what you mean, twin? And then I look down, she got the same motherfucking purse as me. I'm like, she had that purse. Now I don't want that motherfucking purse no more. I just be like, all right. Or they ask, my girl acts shit like this, right? Like when I used to go to your house to podcast, she'd be like, so how was setting up the podcast? Or I go to the studio, so how was the studio? Or you go to the gym, so how was the gym? I mean, it's meaningful questions, but it's just like, it's meaningful. Like, we don't be.
I was gonna say, at least you care.
I'm one of them niggas, I care about that shit because you have a girl who don't ask you nothing. You like, damn, motherfucker, like.
Yeah, at least you care, though.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
but I get the way you said, the way you pose it, it's kind of like, that's not the important part. It's like, like you said, setting up the podcast. It ain't like I give my girl highlights of the podcast. Right. Well, she'll try to, sometimes she'll want to listen live, but she can't hear y'all. So she'll like, I don't know what's going on. So I'll tell her the highlights as soon as I'm off. You feel me? I'm not talking about, well, we started off talking about blah, blah, blah. And then as the conversation went on, we got into, no, I'm going to just tell her the highlights. Right.
Yeah, I do that. But my girl, when she said, it'd be like, she like, how's that? Like, well, we rap. It should be like that. It don't be like, it'd be like, we want, like, all right, so look, we went in there, we had this song about like crying about our mother. So yeah, I went in first, and I just like, to me, it's just like I just be thinking about like, I'm like, I don't really get explaining. That's me talking about the difference between men and women. It's like, for me, I don't really got that much. I ain't really thinking to let off that much unless it's like something emotionally involved or something like that. I don't really just be coming in like, yeah, man. So traffic was a bitch. Let me tell you, like they take my ride home.
She got to deal with, right?
Yeah,
I just reach in the fridge and get my drink when that happened.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with it. I wish I could just smoke like I used to. The kids be in the room and shit. I just be sitting there just listening, like
damn, I really gotta be attentive to this shit.
I ain't gonna lie. Some of the juicy shit I do stick around. And I do listen to that shit. Not the work shit, but the shit like with like people she know and shit like that, I do listen to that. But work, I be like, all right.
Yeah, it's a family, man. Your entertainment changed, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit is different. Like, what you find your regular day conversation is just, even with my homies now, like, it used to be like, man, yeah, I fucked, ooh. And now it's just like the conversation be totally
that
different.
Is not
like,
good conversation. Well, all through college, just about who you fuck. What happened at that party?
That oil change was $80, nigga. Like, what the fuck going on?
Niggas out here trying to, niggas
like,
be like,
damn,
bro, it's like, I'm trying to budget my damn transmission and my tire I need. Like, that's all.
It's like, I got a homie with no kids. It's like every 3 days he hit me up like, what you on? I'm like, I got the kids, ain't nothing changed. I'm just
that shit is not going nowhere for you.
I mean, you can come over,
13 years.
We not going nowhere. You can come over, but I can't come get you. Shit. Fuck.
Being a father, watching the kids grow, typical shit.
Sunday through Sunday, they live here with me.
Bro, this is not a part-time job, bro. It's not.
Yeah. Now when they get older, I can't wait. I get my second life when they go. They could sit in a room and not argue with each other or some shit like that, or I ain't gotta be as attentive. But right now, shit, I be getting jumped. I don't get to watch what I want. My daughter she's called everything kids related the kids one. So if I'm trying to watch, let's watch the kids one. I'll be watching the kids one for 24 hours a day. Nothing but the kids.
can't listen to none of your music in the car hardly. Can't listen to nothing you want to listen to regularly.
Some shit I'll be having the car like, man, I like that song. I'll be like, I forgot you said all this shit on there.
I be hurt. Right, Joe. I'll play something. I'm like, this could be cool. And then it just be like, fuck, I forgot he said that.
Bitch,
that shit influences the kids now,
though. hey, bro. My daughter knows music. She sings the songs.
Shorties, everything.
Now listen, everything. I will say, I do want her to be diverse in music. I listen to everything that I listen to, but I still pick. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't let Spotify go. No, it's hard. It's hard. It is hard. But I play old shit. My daughter's addicted to Michael Jackson too. She loves Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? So, right, she loves Michael Jackson. She asks for that all the time.
Like DJ, I be like, nigga, I ain't gonna play on this motherfucker album music. Like, how it be for me to find a song to play for their ass?
Exactly. So, you know what I'm saying? I play. You know what Old Town Road was busting? I was playing that. So it's just like I play music that she could listen to still, and I still play rap. But I play rap that's a little bit more tolerable. I don't like. If they curse here and there in the song, cool, but I don't like play Eminem for her. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But Eminem picked aside, but you made a point. You play Old Town Road, and now shorty Googling Lil Nas X and see him sucking double dick. It's kind of like, oh, shit.
Shit, that's not on YouTube Kids, bro.
It's kind of like, oh, shit.
It's not on YouTube Kids.
You said the nigga who was Old Town Road who I thought he was.
You said we can't control. I know we can't control what our kids' friends do and shit. But when we in control, call me by your name and industry baby. Excuse me, what?
No, I said, now you're right. A lot of my students don't have social media. But then
right. Like all the kids I work with, all the kids I work with have Instagram. Like before high school, the kids before high school have just TikTok. They don't have nothing else but TikTok. TikTok pushes it, but I'd rather that than Snapchat, Instagram. Yeah, exactly. But I'd rather TikTok. We did, yeah, definitely.
They need a TikTok.
I'd rather that the Instagram, Snapchat, and all that shit. They do need a TikTok for kids. YouTube is good with blocking stuff.
It was, but now it didn't got took over because niggas trying to get money.
What was it? Because it was Musically, and Musically was never for kids. If you ask me, it was never for kids. Because I was on that shit heavy, and my influences was adult as fuck. I never thought that app was for kids.
Maybe I still don't have one.
TikTok got loose. TikTok got a little bit more free, but when it was Musically, that shit didn't strike me as a kid's app at all. Okay. Because kids wouldn't know how to finesse making a video lapse. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that. That wasn't something they can know how to do. But it is what it is now.
But yeah, I think that's about it. I think we got other shit. Unless you got something else you wanted to say on here, talk about on here. Mallow.
Me?
Or Ricky?
I mean, none of this other shit that pertinent, in my opinion.
That's fine.
None of the other shit too pressing.
That's fine.
We had a good conversation.
Yep, about to get off here and be a dad again.
Damn, again? Look,
talking about again.
You know what? The good thing about it though, Mallow, Ricky, you got kids.
Nah, bro, I said using condoms and shit.
Okay. I'm not.
The way he said it. No, the way he said it is hilarious.
Because look, I'm telling you,
I don't know what's gonna happen, bro. At this rate, I don't know what's gonna happen.
I'm gonna let you know you're gonna be just like me. Because you know what I'm saying? Like a bad guy, Sunday to Sunday. I'm telling you. And like people be like, oh yeah, you could just. I got 2 kids, man. It's one of them be in school, and I be cleaning shoes, restoring shoes and shit. It's so hard to do anything because like you feel bad if the nigga just falls asleep because he bored. But then at the same time, it's just like, man, I can't do this because you right here, and I can't just sit in your face all day. And it's just like, then they care $1 million, and you know. So I'm just letting you know, if you want to take it off, it's expensive.
I did the math, nigga. Look, my mama had me at 17, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wait. I won't been waiting this long, but I can't even have a dog before I get up and go too much.
Yeah,
you know
I can't have a dog.
I will say. Yeah, man, it's hard to get up and go when you got the kids. But I will say, people used to always be like, yeah, you're going to be broke. It's not as expensive as people say.
It's not that.
Now, the time that you have to put in, that's where it's going to get costly.
Yeah. Like, we be more pressed about our time than money with kids.
Yeah.
Like,
but
it's time.
It's money, bro. Like,
exactly.
If I had kids, I wouldn't be able to work at the high school in the day and the youth center at night. You know, I couldn't do that shit. Like, I finesse the way to get their ass in the same school I work at. But like, I wouldn't be able to. When they younger, you definitely can't because you got less options.
Yeah, the best thing.
When they hit 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade, they can do some after school programs, shit like that.
Yeah,
you got a little more freedom. But at this point, right now, it's like it's you and them.
Yeah,
unless you want to high as daycare. Hey, daycare is high as fuck.
Daycare is bullshit.
Crazy. I didn't want to open daycare in this motherfucker. Like, I'm thinking about it.
You hear me?
That shit got more. You making more than crack off that.
I'm opening daycare and I'm gonna start renting houses out in Chicago because, man, I'm trying looking for a house to rent and it's just like, bro, it's like 5 houses available, right? For $2,000.
Don't get him started. Don't get him started with houses. Because
you had a house nightmare too, trying to find somewhere to move to.
Nah, nigga. So when I did my build, it definitely took me a minute. My mama ended up finding this shit, and I didn't even want to move in with it first, but I don't regret it now at all. But nah, it's a journey. It takes time for sure.
Yeah, you live on the south side.
Normally, you said what, bro?
You live on the south side.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you saying what though?
Now, normally, like realtors help you find that list, but finding a home is like finding a mate, really. It's like who do I really want to be with?
I wasn't even looking to buy right now. I'm just looking to rent for a year, and then I was gonna buy. I get my shit together more, and then I was gonna try to buy because I could have bought, but I didn't like the price of houses right now. Like what they were telling me, yeah, you can go. I was like, I'm not gonna play with that.
For real. I don't know why, but the property value is up right now.
Yeah, it is like a motherfucker, and oh my god, this come from me talking to being in these white neighborhoods. All of them blame the white. I was just teach white people talk. There's there's government. There's government giving them all this money, and then they saving it, and they're saying retarded shit. Like we all know there was a cap on when they gave you money for the 14K or whatever, right? For the amount of kids. They were saying shit it was people with 6 kids, was 14 times 6. I was like, in my head,
no, it capped to 4 kids or something like that.
Exactly. I didn't even argue with him. I just was like, okay. And then there's yeah, that's the reason. And that's probably the reason why we ain't got no chips and nothing else up in here. Because Link don't care. Link buying everything. I'm just in my head, I'm like, Link is the reason why y'all still got a job because a lot of people not coming to go spend this kind of money right now because money tight in a lot of places. Even though people was getting these unemployment and this, that wasn't everybody. I was still. It was a whole lot of people I know that was still working that didn't get none of that shit. So all of us, you think I'm going in there to go spend my little dollars that y'all didn't give me no extra money for working through COVID? You want me to spend my extra dollar on $6 chips? No, nigga. No. So Link ain't Link is the reason why you niggas are in operations right now because everything more expensive. You got to be rich to eat at Taco Bell now. You gotta be rich. Have y'all been to J&J? You see the price of chicken now. You gotta be rich to eat fish. Dog,
it's a lot of reasons why that shit going up though. Like getting the meat in general, bro, is a little harder now.
Yeah, that shit bogus as hell.
That's why, man. I mean, you know, we can get off here. If I tell anybody any advice, like, and like when COVID first hit, I was reading like survival magazines and shit like that just to learn. Like, I would say growing your own food is some essential shit. Like, the whole thing about COVID that killed me is that, like, they forcing the vaccine, but nobody's talking about all the fucking, like, McDonald's and the chicken spots are not closed in the hood. None during the COVID. Shit wasn't touched, nigga. Like, that shit was open every day. Nigga, there was no mandatory vegetables and fruit being given in houses, nigga. No mandatory exercise. So I would say, based on your point, like, growing your food, knowing what the fuck you eating, learning self-defense, like, having water, like, all that shit is important, nigga, because the price of everything is increasing.
Hey, you just gave me when you said that, I just had a random idea. Like, when COVID, when everything was shut down, wouldn't it have been fire if, like, the news channels had, like, a fucking workout, like a trainer on that bitch, just like health, bro. Doing health right, like right. I know they don't care, but I'm saying, like, if they did, like, I feel like that would have been cold. Like, there's no news. Fuck what's going on. I'm sorry, you can say what you want. Fuck what's going on in the Ukraine, bro. What's happening? We in this shit at home, losing our mind. Put a fucking trainer on there and do a workout, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit. That when you said that, like, I was like, damn, that would have been fire. Like, if they would have did shit like that on the news. But yeah, nobody cares about health.
It's America.
or fucking cooking with recipe, like healthy meals, making healthy meals and shit. Like,
that's why I'm being a realist, bro. And I'm finna go on the deep end. You finna lose all your fans when I say this. So I'm not. I heard the term fat phobic the other day, right? And it blew my mind. Like, that's a fucking term, fat phobic. So
no,
I tell motherfuckers this, like, in regards to, like, Lizzo, right? I feel like love who you are, but you have to acknowledge reality, right? Like, I know that I should eat better. I know I should drink less. I'm not gonna say act like, man, I love myself. Fuck it, I'm gonna do this shit anyway. I know my lifestyle is unhealthy, some shit I can fucking change. So with that being said, we gotta be real. Like, nigga, certain areas there's really no healthy food option unless you cooking that shit. You know what I'm saying? The world doesn't promote health because unhealthiness is marketable. You motherfucker get paid off of that shit. It's rare to make money off of health because sickness sells. It sells.
Let's talk about how it's all these food deserts in the city of Chicago and black communities. Like and even where I live at, bro, we had a store. Now we don't have like the next grocery store outside of a little Hispanic bodega where the fruit is bad. It looked like they drag it in and not drive it in. The vegetables are bad. The next one is like 2 towns over. And then in the city of Chicago, I be thinking it's like you got Mariano's and stuff when you get towards Hyde Park. But other than that, it's like, what the fuck is they even? It's just like, it ain't even a Target, bro. Nowhere from the east side of Chicago, that whole area. It's nothing. It's a big food desert. You got the ghetto ass places like Food for Less or something like that, where you not even getting. But you got new restaurants opening everywhere though.
Nah, and even like on certain parts of town, when you look up Uber Eats, you can see what's around you. You know what I'm saying? So me being in Inglewood, like, the healthy options are hard to get.
That's my point that I'm making. Is
whenever I'm in a loop or something like that, nigga, I get a smoothie here, I get a salad here.
Yeah.
Like, I could get all type of shit. So even like in regards to the fast food, it changes, but it's all meant to be that way. And the more that it gentrify Inglewood, the more I'm gonna have more options. Like, unfortunately. But I know we finna end. Maybe been on here for a while.
Yeah, we have. Yeah. I ain't got nothing else, man.
Yeah, we can wrap it up.
Yeah, Rick, thanks for slide, man.
But thanks for having
bro. Dropping good knowledge, good conversation.
Maybe we'll have some more topics one day. But thanks for having.
No, it's always topics with the media. It's always topics.
It's always topic with Florida being around. Shit. Florida shit. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's your boy Steph.
And this Logix, speak to what you know, be open to what you don't. And remember, nothing applies to everyone but life and death. This is Cultural Conversations. Be safe.
Thank you. Peace.